Have you ever heard the surprising fact that the Cherokee Nation owned slaves? Yes, it's true. The Cherokee Nation, one of the largest slave-holding Native American tribes in the United States, held over 4,000 enslaved Africans. The system of slavery in the Cherokee Nation bore striking resemblances to that of the southern United States. Many of the enslaved were forcibly assimilated into Cherokee culture, adopting the language, customs, and beliefs. This was a time when Native American tribes, like the Cherokee, were also subject to forced relocation, genocide, and marginalization by European colonizers, and later the US government. So while the Cherokee did hold slaves, they were not the primary beneficiaries of the transatlantic slave trade or the institution of slavery. This might be a hard pill to swallow, but it's a part of history that we must confront. Now let's take a step back and lay down the historical context. As we delve into the past, it's crucial to remember the power dynamics at play during this period. The Native American tribes, including the Cherokee, were not merely independent entities operating in a vacuum. They were subject to forced relocation, genocide, and marginalization by European colonizers, and subsequently by the United States government. The infamous Trail of Tears, for instance, saw the forced removal of the Cherokee and other tribes from their ancestral lands, leading to thousands of deaths. This brutal policy was part of a broader pattern of systemic violence and dispossession that Native American tribes endured. Simultaneously, the transatlantic slave trade was in full swing, with millions of Africans being forcibly transported to the Americas and enslaved. The institution of slavery, deeply entrenched in the colonial and early American economy, was a horrific system that dehumanized and oppressed countless individuals. Some Native American tribes, including the Cherokee, did indeed participate in this system, owning slaves and adopting a structure of slavery that bore similarities to the one in the southern United States. However, their involvement must be understood within the broader context of colonialism, cultural assimilation, and survival under oppressive conditions. It's also important to remember that while some Native Americans did own slaves, they were not the primary beneficiaries of the transatlantic slave trade or the institution of slavery. That dubious distinction goes to the European colonizers and their descendants who built vast fortunes and powerful nations on the backs of enslaved Africans. So as we unravel this complex tapestry of history, we should strive to avoid oversimplifications or false equivalences. We must recognize the nuanced realities of the past, the intersecting oppressions and the diverse experiences of different groups within this historical context. While some Native Americans did own slaves, they were not the primary beneficiaries of the transatlantic slave trade or the institution of slavery. So, what happened after the Civil War, you might ask? The end of the Civil War marked a turning point in the lives of the enslaved Africans among the Cherokee. The United States government stepped in, negotiating treaties with Native American tribes, including the Cherokee, to free their slaves and grant them citizenship. These newly freed individuals came to be known as the Cherokee freedmen. The Cherokee freedmen were not merely set free, they were granted land and rights within the Cherokee Nation. The idea was to give them a fair chance at a new life, a life of dignity and freedom. This was a significant step towards acknowledging the injustice they had suffered and making amends. While this may seem like a happy ending, the reality was far from it. The integration of the freedmen into Cherokee society was fraught with challenges. The Cherokee freedmen found themselves navigating the complex dynamics of a society that was still grappling with the aftermath of slavery. Over time, the Cherokee Nation began to restrict the rights of the freedmen. This led to a long-standing legal battle for recognition and citizenship. The freedmen, once considered part of the Cherokee Nation, found themselves fighting for their place in the very society they had helped shape. Despite the obstacles, the Cherokee freedmen persevered. They held on to their identity, their heritage, and their rights. They became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a symbol of the struggle for justice in the face of adversity. Today, there are an estimated 50,000 to 100,000 people of African descent who claim Cherokee ancestry. However, only a small fraction are recognized as citizens by the Cherokee Nation. The struggle for recognition, for a place in history, continues for many of these individuals. In 2017, the Cherokee Nation voted to grant citizenship to all freedmen descendants, a significant milestone in their fight for recognition. However, the issue remains contentious and is far from resolved. However, the journey for recognition and citizenship was far from over for the Cherokee freedmen. Their story is a testament to the enduring legacy of slavery, a stark reminder of the long road to justice and equality. The fight for rights and recognition was a long and winding road for the Cherokee freedmen. In the aftermath of the Civil War, when the United States government negotiated treaties with Native American tribes to free their slaves, the Cherokee freedmen, as they came to be known, were granted land and rights within the Cherokee Nation. However, these rights were not to remain unchallenged. Over time, the Cherokee Nation began to restrict the rights of freedmen. This move triggered a series of legal battles for recognition and citizenship that would echo through the decades. The freedmen found themselves in a paradoxical state. While they held onto the Cherokee language, customs, and beliefs, their rights as citizens within the Cherokee Nation were being eroded. As we fast forward to the 21st century, the struggle for recognition was still very much alive. In 2017, after a decade-long legal battle, the Cherokee Nation's highest court ruled in favor of the freedmen. The decision was groundbreaking. It granted citizenship to all descendants of freedmen, regardless of their blood quantum or the degree of their Cherokee ancestry. This ruling was a monumental stride toward justice, allowing an estimated 50,000 to 100,000 people of African descent who claimed Cherokee ancestry to be recognized as citizens by the Cherokee Nation. But the victory was not without its detractors. Some in the Cherokee Nation argued that the decision diluted the purity of Cherokee blood and heritage, leading to fierce debates. Despite the legal victories, the issue remains contentious and unresolved. The struggle for recognition for the right to claim one's dual African and Native American heritage continues. The freedmen's journey is a testament to resilience and perseverance, a narrative intertwined with the complex history of America itself. As we delve deeper into this rich tapestry of history, let's remember that the struggle for recognition is not just about the past or the present, but also about the future. A future where all voices are heard and all identities are acknowledged and respected. Despite the tumultuous past, the Afro-Cherokee individuals have carved a unique cultural identity. This identity, born out of a complex history, is a tapestry woven with threads of African and Native American heritage. It's a vibrant blend of traditions, stories, and values from two continents, two histories, two peoples. In the aftermath of slavery, many Afro-Cherokee individuals were forcibly assimilated into Cherokee culture. They adopted the language, customs, and beliefs of the tribe, infusing them with the echoes of their African roots. This blend of cultures created a unique identity that has persisted through the generations. This cultural fusion is evident in various aspects of Afro-Cherokee life. It's seen in the stories they tell, the music they create, the food they cook, and the values they uphold. These traditions serve as a bridge between the past and the present, connecting Afro-Cherokee individuals to their ancestors and their history. But preserving this cultural identity has not been without challenges. Over the years, the rights of the Afro-Cherokee have been restricted and their identity has been questioned. Despite these adversities, they have held onto their heritage, passing down their traditions and stories from one generation to the next. The connection to their African and Native American heritage is a source of pride for many Afro-Cherokee individuals. They honor their ancestors by keeping their traditions alive and by advocating for recognition and rights within the Cherokee Nation. Their struggle for recognition is not just about citizenship. It's about validating their identity and their belonging. The cultural identity of the Afro-Cherokee is a testament to their resilience. They have faced marginalization, forced assimilation and legal battles, yet they have preserved their unique cultural heritage. They have held on to their traditions, their stories, and their identity, keeping alive the legacy of their ancestors. This rich and diverse cultural identity is a testament to their resilience and perseverance. The question of compensation remains a heated debate. The Cherokee Nation, acknowledging its history of slavery, has established a task force to delve into the matter, promote healing, and foster reconciliation. Some argue that the Cherokee Nation, as a sovereign entity, should provide reparations to the descendants of enslaved Africans who were once held by the Cherokee. But others contend that the historical trauma and ongoing struggles of the Native American communities should be recognized and addressed first. Over the years, the Cherokee Nation has taken steps to address its past. They've granted citizenship and benefits to descendants of freedmen, the former slaves, and have created programs aiming to heal and reconcile. But the question of compensation, that's still a topic of fervent discussion and debate. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. While the issue remains unresolved, it's essential to work towards understanding the historical injustices and their ongoing impacts.